students, welcome to the lecture on Introduction to Operation Research, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Discuss the concept of operation research, explain the OR models and modeling, discuss the applications and uses of operation research, describe the advantages and limitations of OR. Let us start with the introduction to operation research. Operation research (OR) is a science which deals with problem, formulation, solutions, and finally appropriate decision making. Scientists and technocrats formed team to study the problem arising out of difficult situations and at the later stage solutions to these problems. It is research designed to determine most efficient way to do something new. The OR is the use of mathematical models, statistics and algorithm to aid in decision making. It is most often used to analyze complex real-life problems, typically with the goal of improving or optimizing performance. Decision making is the main activity of an engineer manager. Some decisions can be taken by common sense, sound judgment and experience without using mathematics, and some cases this may not be possible and use of other techniques is inevitable. With the growth of technology, the world has seen remarkable changes in the size and complexity of organizations. An integral part of this had been the division of labor and segmentation of management responsibilities in these organizations. With the development of PCs, the use of OR techniques became prominent and effective tool as large amount of computation is required to handle complex problems.
What is operational research? In a nutshell, OR is the discipline of applying appropriate analytical methods to help make better decisions. In today's world, OR is all around us. It can be found in just about everything we do. It forms the building blocks for our everyday world, from buying a flight to queuing for our weekly groceries. It helps save lives. It drives business and government. Without OR, the modern world we take for granted wouldn't exist. There has never been a better time to be an operational researcher. Today, most organisations have masses of data. The ways we communicate are fast. Computers are sophisticated and powerful. And the business world is now investing heavily in putting operational research at the centre of what they do. This is not maths in theory, but maths in the real world, making a real difference.
Now, we will discuss about the concept of operation research. Operation research is the use of advanced analytical techniques to improve decision making. Defining OR is a difficult task as its boundaries and content are not yet fixed. It can be regarded as use of mathematical and quantitative techniques to substantiate the decision being taken. Further, it is multidisciplinary, which takes tools from subjects like mathematics, statistics, engineering, economics, psychology, etc., and uses them to score the consequences of possible alternative actions. Today, it has become a professional discipline that deals with the application of scientific methods to decision making. Salient aspects related to definitions stressed by various experts on the subject are as follows. Pocock stresses that OR is an applied science. He states, OR is scientific methodology, analytical, experimental, quantitative, which by accessing the overall implication of various alternative courses of action in a management system provides an improved basis for management decisions. Morse and Kimball have stressed the quantitative approach of OR and have described it as a scientific method of providing executive departments with a quantitative basis for decisions regarding the operation under their control. Miller and Starr see OR as applied decision theory. They state OR or applied decision theory. It uses any scientific, mathematical or logical means to attempt to cope with the problems that confront the executive when he tries to achieve a thorough-going rationality in dealing with his decision problem. Here we will discuss about features of operation research. In the OR, we include the features like decision making. Every industrial organization faces multifaceted problems to identify best possible solution to their problems. OR aims to help the executives to obtain optimal solution with the use of OR techniques. It also helps the decision maker to improve his creative and judicious capabilities, analyze and understand the problem situation, leading to better control, better coordination, better systems and finally better decisions. Scientific approach. OR applies scientific methods, techniques and tools for the purpose of analysis and solution of the complex problems. In this approach, there is no place for guesswork and the person bias of the decision maker. Interdisciplinary team approach. Basically, the industrial problems are of complex nature and therefore require a team effort to handle it. This team comprises of scientific, mathematicians and technocrats who jointly use the OR tools to obtain an optimal solution of the problem. They try to analyze the cause and effect relationship between various parameters of the problem and evaluates the outcome of various alternative strategies. System approach. The main aim of the system approach is to trace for each proposal all significant and indirect effects on all subsystems on a system and to evaluate each action in terms of effects for the system as a whole. Mathematical and analytical models of OR to obtain acceptable solution. Use of computers. The models of OR need lot of computation and therefore the use of computers becomes necessary. With the use of computers, it is possible to handle complex problems requiring large amount of calculations. Let's describe the phase of operational research. The OR is a logical and systematic approach to provide a rational basis for decision making. The phases of OR must be logical and systematic. The various steps required for the analysis of a problem under OR are: observe the problem environment. The first step of OR study is the observation of the environment in which the problem exists. The activities that constitute this step are visits, conferences, observations, research, etc. With the help of such activities, the OR analyst gets sufficient information and support to proceed and is better prepared to formulate the problem. Analyze and define the problem. In this step, not only the problem is defined, but also uses objectives and limitations of the study that are stressed in the light of the problem. The end results of this step are clear grasp of need for a solution and understanding of its nature. Develop a model. The next step is to develop model, which is representation of same real or abstract situation. OR models are basically mathematical models representing systems, process or environment in form of equations, relationships or formulae. Selection of data input. It is an established fact that without authentic and appropriate data, the results of the OR models cannot be trusted. Hence, tapping right kind of data is a vital step in OR process. Solution and testing. In this step, the solution of the problems is obtained with the help of model and data input. If the solution is not reasonable or if the model is not behaving properly, updating and modification of the model is considered at this stage. Implementation of the solution. This is the last phase of the OR study. In OR, the decision making is scientific, but implementation of decision involves many behavioral issues. Therefore, implementation authority has to resolve the behavioral issues involving the workers and supervisors to avoid further conflicts. Here, We will discuss the outlines of OR models. In OR, the problem is expressed in the form of a model, where a model is a theoretical abstraction approximation of a real-life problem. It can be defined as a simplified representation of an operation or a process in which only the basic aspects or the most important features of a typical problem under investigation are considered. OR analysts have given special impetus to the development and use of techniques include linear programming, LP. Linear programming is basically a constraint optimization technique which tries to optimize some criterion within some constraints. Waiting line or queuing theory. These deals with the situation in which queue is formed or the customers have to wait for service or machines wait for repairmen, and therefore concept of a queue is involved. Game theory. It is used for decision making under conflicting situations where there are one or more opponents. The opponents in game theory are called players. The motives of the players are victimized. Inventory control models. These models deal with the quantities which are either to be purchased or stocked, since each factor involves cost. The purchase and material managers are normally encounter such situations. Simulation. It is basically data generating technique where sometimes it is risky, cumbersome or time consuming to conduct real study or experiment to know more about situation or problem. Non-linear programming. These models may be used when either the objective function or some of the constraints are not linear in nature. Integer programming. This method can be used when one or more of the variables can only take integer values. Dynamic programming. This is a method of analyzing multi-stage decision processes in which each elementary decision is dependent upon those preceding it as well as upon external factors. Sequencing theory. This is related to waiting line theory and is applicable when the facilities are fixed but the order of servicing may be controlled. Symbolic logic. It deals with the substituting symbols for words, classes of things or functional systems. Symbolic logic involves rules, algebra of logic and propositions. Let's talk about the scope of operation research. The scope of OR is not only confined to any specific agency like defined services, but today it is widely used in all industrial organizations. It can be used to find the best solution to any problem, be it simple or complex. It is useful in every field of human activities where optimization of resources is required in the best way. Thus, it attempts to resolve the conflicts of interest among the components of organization in a way that is best for the organization as a whole. The main fields where OR is extensively used are national planning and budgeting. The OR is used for preparation of 5-year plans, annual budgets, forecasting of income and expenditure, scheduling of major projects of national importance, estimation of GNP, GDP, population employment and generation of agriculture yields, etc. Defense services. Basically, formulation of OR started from USA Army, so it has wide application in areas such as development of new technology, optimization of cost and time, tender evaluation, setting and layouts of defense projects, assessment of threat analysis, strategy of battle, effective maintenance and replacement of equipment, inventory control, transportation and supply depots, etc. Industrial establishment and private sector units. OR can be effectively used in plant location and setting finance planning, product and process planning, facility planning and construction, production planning and control, purchasing maintenance management and personnel management, etc., to name a few. R&D and engineering. Research and development being the heart of technological growth, OR has wide scope for and can be applied in technology forecasting and evaluation, technology and project management, preparation of tender and negotiation, value engineering, work method study, and so on. Here, we will talk about the applications and uses of operation research. Today, almost all fields of business and government utilizing the benefits of operation research. Now, these techniques are used in operation research applications like accounting, assigning audit terms effectively, credit policy analysis, cash flow planning, developing standard costs, establishing costs for byproducts, planning of delinquent account strategy, construction, project scheduling, monitoring and control, determination of proper workforce, deployment of workforce, allocation of resources to projects, facilities planning, factory location and size decision, estimation of number of facilities required, hospital planning, MBA H2040, quantitative techniques for managers, international logistic system design, transportation loading and unloading, warehouse location decision, building cash management models, allocating capital among various alternatives, building financial planning models, investment analysis, portfolio analysis, dividend policy making, manufacturing inventory control, marketing balance projection, production scheduling, production smoothing, marketing, advertising budget allocation, product introduction timing, selection of product mix, deciding most effective packaging alternative, organizational behavior, human resources, personal planning, recruitment of employees, skill balancing, training program scheduling, designing organizational structure more effectively, purchasing, optimal buying, optimal reordering, materials transfer, research and development, R&D projects control, R&D budget allocation, planning of product introduction. Here we will discuss about the role of OR in engineering and science. The information available in science has been used to develop engineering. Whatever available in the engineering is based on basic fundamentals of science. With the growth of technology and the practitioners faced many challenges to improve the product and market it efficiently. Let's talk about operational activities. The OR's role in both the public and the private sectors is increasing rapidly. In general, OR addresses a wide variety of issues in transportation, inventory planning, production planning, communication operation, computer operation, financial assets, risk management, revenue management, and many other fields where improving business productivity is paramount. In the public sector, OR studies may focus on energy policy, defense, healthcare, water resource planning, design and operation of urban emergency systems, or criminal justice. Generally, OR improves the effectiveness and the efficiency of an institution. These are some of the benefits offered by OR. Decrease cost or investment, increase revenue or return on investment, increase market share, manage and reduce risk, improve quality, increase throughput while decreasing delays, achieve improved utilization from limited resources, demonstrate and feasibility and workability. Now let's talk about OR in manufacturing. As OR has made significant contributions in virtually all industries, in almost all managerial and decision-making functions, and at most organizational levels, it is a true statement that OR's success in contemporary business pervade manufacturing and service operation, logistics, distribution, transportation, and telecommunication. The myriad applications include scheduling, routing, workflow improvements, elimination of bottlenecks, inventory control, business process re-engineering, site selection or facility and general operational planning. Production systems. Businesses and organizations frequently face challenging operational problems whose successful solution requires certain expertise in applied statistics, optimization, stochastic modeling, or a combination of these areas. To illustrate, a company may need to design a sampling plan in order to meet specific quality control objectives. In a manufacturing environment, operations that compete for the same resources must be scheduled in a way that deadlines are not violated. These are some important advantages of operation research. Effective decisions operation research helps the managers to take better and quicker decisions. It increases the number of alternatives. It helps the managers to evaluate the risk and results of all the alternative decisions. Better coordination. Operation research helps to coordinate all the decisions of the organization. It coordinates all decisions taken by the different levels of management and the various developments of the organization. Facilitates control. Operation research helps the manager to control his subordinates. It helps the manager to decide which work is important. The manager does the most important work himself and he delegates the less important work to his subordinates. Improves productivity. Operation research helps to improve the productivity of the organization. It helps to decide about the selection, location, and size of the factories, warehouses, etc. It helps in inventory control. It helps in production planning and control. It also helps in manpower planning. OR is used in expansion, modernization, installation of technology, etc. Limitations of operational research are magnitude of computation. Operation research models try to find out optimal solution taking into account all the factors. These factors are enormous and expressing them in quantity and establishing relationships among these require voluminous calculations which can be handled by computers. Non-quantifiable factors. The OR provides solution only when all elements related to a problem can be quantified. Distance between user and analyst. The OR, being specialist's job, requires a mathematician or statistician who might not be aware of business problems. Similarly, a manager fails to understand the complex working of OR. Time and money costs. When basic data are subjected to frequent changes, incorporating them into the OR models is a costly proposition. Moreover, a fairly good solution at present may be more desirable than a perfect OR solution available after some time. Implementation. Implementation of any decision is a delicate task. It must take into account the complexities of human relations and behavior. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learnt in this lecture. The driving idea behind OR is to collaborate with clients to design and improve operation, make better decisions, solve problems and advance managerial functions including policy formulation, planning, forecasting and performance measurement. The goal of OR is to develop information to provide valuable insight and guidance. Utilizing OR methods allow to develop and implement software, systems, services and products related to a client's methods and applications. Operation research is a science which deals with problems, formulation, solutions, and finally appropriate decision making. Operation research helps to improve the productivity of the organization. It helps to decide about the selection, location and size of the factories, warehouses, etc.